Good morning, everyone. I'm Jen Houston, owner of the Artsy Fartsy Gallery. I'm a full-time independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canmore, Alberta, Canada. Welcome to Wildcard Wednesday. Oh boy, Wednesday. So I threw out a question yesterday asking, forgot to put that on, asking what color are your bathroom towels? And so lots of you have fun colored towels. Wow. We just have plain old, gray. Just gray. It's just simple, I guess. Yeah, some neat colors. But this morning I did kind of the comment pickster. And the color combo that came up was, first off, Lisa Harden. And she has soft sea foam. So I thought, oh great, but I need more colors than just one. We need a color combo. So then I did it again and I picked Diane Lebrun, and she had smoky slate and basic gray. Did I luck out or what? We could have had, Daffodil Delight and Seaside Spray and mint macaron for all I know. It could have been a disaster, but thank goodness, whew, it was a fun color combo. And I have been working really hard this morning to get a whole bunch of different things, examples, I guess, showed. And man, I was running out of time because you'd start one thing and you're like, oh, but that could go like this and that could go like this and all sorts of things with this beautiful feature of the week, which is today's tiles. That bundle comes with the stamps and those beautiful dies that cut out those incredible shapes. And so that's going to be kind of my showcase today, is how I'm using those great die shapes along with the stamps. So if you order this from me this week, I'm going to send you a block G. It's one of those ones you need to have, but you tend to not buy because, it's another thing, and you can get away with bigger blocks. But I tell you, with these smaller sayings, you want to get your saying as close, the stamp as close to the size of the block as you can. It prevents the rocking kind of and the halo effect, if you will. So there's that. Anyways, I'm going to send you that out for purchasing that with me this week. So don't miss out on that. And of course, our color combo, as I said before, thanks to Lisa Harden and Diane Lebrun. Beautiful, isn't it stunning? Like basic gray, soft sea foam, smoky slate, and I did throw in Whisper White just to ground it all together. So I am so excited about this one to share with all the ideas that came to me. And I'm a little scattered, the normal. Of course, Indy starts barking as soon as I go live here, or as soon as I'm like trying to clean up and trying to I'm just like, okay, too bad. I wanted to do a whole bunch of more things, but I'm like, nope, I've got to stop. I've got to get this video going, and I will make other examples later on with what I was thinking, and just post them on my blog. Just put it all away. So I'm like rushing around, getting everything sort of cleaned up in piles, blah, blah, blah. Then Indy comes along, she's barking, she wants to play with her snake. I'm trying to wipe off my scissors because they look like a disaster. And I'm trying to throw her snake while wiping. I'm like, why is there red everywhere? I'm like, oh, I'm cutting myself. Okay. So I had to run and find a Band-Aid. And of course we have big Band-Aids. We don't have, proper ones. Oh, this is how life goes, right? This is why I cannot have children. I'm a disaster with dogs. I'm telling you. Can you imagine? Okay, let's start. So my first card, I decided to use a piece of Whisper White. I got out my Stamparatus and I stamped the main stamp twice. The cool thing about the Stamparatus is that you can stamp this image once, You move it down twice and boom, it hits the right spot to line it up, so that you can have like multiple rows of these beautiful tiles. I'll show you how to do this later on. And then of course I use the detail stamp with the basic gray, the darker gray, to kind of hit up those little details. So I used a piece of Whisper White to do that on. And then I cut out myself a piece of soft sea foam that'll just mat it on both sides. And then I'm going to end up putting this onto this like so. So it's going to just fit along the sides, leaving some spaces at the top and the bottom. Isn't that gorgeous? I wonder if it's better if I turn the light off. I don't know. Can you see better? Thanks everyone for popping on, by the way. Hello. I'm so busy talking. Sheesh. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you, Natasha. Wow, love my shirt. Yeah, I normally don't wear this shirt. I haven't worn this shirt for so long because when we were in our other two condos, it was so hot. It was always hot. We could not get the temperature below 24 no matter what we did. I think I'm there. Not going to. My fingers aren't working so well. There we go. And so it was so hot all the time. And I didn't wear a sweater, anything through the entire winter. I just wore shirts because I was always hot. And so this is kind of a 3/4 length sweater and sleeve sweater, and it's my like first sweater of the winter. I'm so excited. I'm cool in this place. So there you go. Anyways, back to what we're doing. Here is one of the shapes that can be cut out with this these dies, field dies, or today's tiles bundles. And I thought, oh, let's just put that right in the center, or we could off center it too, whatever. And then look how these things layer up so pretty. So we can put that one on top of there. And then I thought, oh, let's go in with the sentiment. We can layer up that one. I don't know. Or we could just go in with two little shapes. Maybe that looks cute too. Hang on. Maybe this one. That might look pretty too. I think I like that one. What do you think? I've got so many little pieces and piles because when I run things through the Big Shot, of course, I try and throw all the dies on so that if I need a label, I have it. So anyways, here we go. I think this is going to look great. Should we add some ribbon here? We can. I've got it right here. It is the crinkled seam binding ribbon. Yeah, I think let's do it. Okay, so let's start with this. I just got my liquid glue out here because I was doing some kind of detailed gluing, which I will show you later on. I'm excited to show you the different things that I probably other people have thought of all these things, but I, had a brain moment, and it's exciting for me. All right, so while we have this, let's wrap this around. So I'm just going to try not to cut myself again with the scissors. I can feel my Band-Aid getting stuck. Okay, let's get some stamp and seal on the sides. This is how I glue ribbon. I just put two little strips on the back. I lay this across where I kind of want it, and I flip it underneath. Thank you for sharing. This is that's a big help for me. Okay, there's a little ribbon. Should we go over it again? It's almost a little see-through. So let's do it again. Why not? Nobody says we can't. Let's do it. All right, let's get some more stamp and seal over top of that ribbon that we had before. Lay this across again. tuck that behind, tuck that behind. Oh yeah, that looks better. So now you can see that ribbon a little better, right? And then we've got a big piece hanging back here. Let's take that off. No sense. See why I was trying to wipe my scissors? They're filthy. Okay, come on. There's a good pair. Let's keep that one out. Oh, don't come off, Band-Aid. All right, that looks good. Let's attach this to our card base layer like so. I'm gonna get out the liquid glue again. Making sure I put some over top of that ribbon, those tails. Oh, I'm excited about tomorrow's video too. I have a neat technique I'm gonna show. I've convinced you you need this set. Yay! I know. It was my absolute favorite. When I first flipped through the catalog, I'm like, oh, that's the one. That's the one. And then I got it out and I was kind of like, I don't know. But now I'm loving it. I am loving it. Okay, I've got a few little bits and pieces still stuck in here. So let me just take this out. Come hither. Get out of there. I could use the brush too. Yeah, you should see my counter, my floor. Ooh, lots of little bits and pieces. Let's pop this layer up with our dimensionals. Let's make it look fun and fancy. It's almost a little, you know, antique-ish looking, if you will. The pattern, the tile pattern, it just, depending on what color you hit it up with, makes it makes it feel a certain way. Okay, let's try to do this straight. There we go. There's going to be our label, and let's put the sentiment we're going to use on here. How about, we need a little one. We got Namaste. I have yet to use that one, so maybe we should use that. We can't leave it out. I feel bad for stamps that don't get used. It's not their fault, it's my fault. Okay, there we go. Let's use our basic gray, just so you can see the writing well, onto this smoky slate. I was the one with all the dolls when I was a kid, and oh, I better check this, because sometimes when you use photopolymer stamps for the first time, they kind of have this little bit of a film on them, and so they don't stamp perfectly. So I stamped off on the side there just to make sure all that waxy film is off before we do the real event. There we go. Cute. Yeah, I was the girl with all the dolls that, you know, I couldn't leave one out because they might feel bad. And I couldn't leave one out of bed. So every night I'd have to put all the dolls and the teddy bears and everything in my bed because we didn't want anyone to feel left out. Was it just me? Does this explain things? Oh, sheesh. All right, so there we go. Isn't that beautiful? And of course, if you wanted to tie in some of this sea foam, soft sea foam, I could use the pearls and color them up with the soft sea foam Stampin' Blend, and you know, pop them in the centers, or I could just, you know, put it randomly wherever too. I think I'm going to do that. I will, however, show that to you on my blog later on. Pretty, hey? I like it. All right, so there's that one. The next one, similar-ish sort of idea, but I decided, well, you know, so I pre-inked up Why do I have so many pieces? Oh yeah, I pre-inked up, you know, a bunch of things, and then I thought, well, who says I can't use the dye on the tiles, right? Cut out the tiles with this nice fancy thing. So there we go. And I'm going to pop that up with a square behind it. Square of smoky slate. So let's get our glue on there and put that on. That makes the darker color, helps the little corners to pop. Okay, I obviously didn't cut it very well. So let's just trim it down a tad. I want it to be all nice and even. I think that looks good. Okay, don't catch my thumb scissors. And then I thought, okay, well, let's mount this now onto a piece of Whisper White. I think we should pop it up. I'm also excited today because the blind lady, the lady who, you know, installs blinds, is coming to give us a quote. I'm tired of these heavy wood blinds that always look dirty. I want the ones that the blinds that come down from the top, you know, and that way we can have them kind of closed at the bottom. The dogs will not see anything, and lovely. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's put this onto a piece of smoky slate. I think I want to put a sentiment of some sort. We can put some ribbon here too. Might as well use, should we use this ribbon? Should we use some, where is my polka dot? Could get some polka dots in here. I think that'd be cute. Okay, so let's glue this on here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to glue it as opposed to popping it up. But isn't that pretty? Using the die to cut out the stamped image. Isn't that pretty? Let's add our ribbon. Now I'm going to be lazy. Well, no, I'm not. I'll attach it later. Okay. Once again, I'm just going to put this over where I want it and tuck it behind. Let's cut off a little chunk here. No! Not everybody wants to see my gross cut. There. Cute, cute. It's so feminine with those little dots. Now I'm going to tie a bow with this ribbon and glue it on, I think. You don't realize how much you use your thumb until you've got a Band-Aid on it. Ay, ay, ay. There. Attach it. All that. Okay, let's get a glue dot to pop that on. I kind of want to crinkle it so that it looks like I actually tied the bow. Did you see how I did that? So just stick a glue dot down and kind of push it together and squish it down. No one will know. I know. Thought I was having a actual blind lady coming to my house. Yeah. Nope, she's doing the curtains, what have you. So we'll see how much Stampin' Up! I have to sell. So I can get some new blinds. All right, then let's put it on a little piece, a mat of the basic white, Whisper White. And then I thought, okay, let's put this on here. Now, I totally forgot about the sentiment. What should we put here? I think, oh, don't do that. I think it's crooked. That's okay. It's handmade, not Hallmark. Let's add a little sentiment. What little shapes do I have here? Should we go with an actual shape? Should I just stamp down here? I think I'm just going to stamp down here. So I've got, I'm blessed to have you in my life. Isn't that adorable? I love that. It's such a nice saying. That is the card. Oh, you know what? I haven't even used basic gray on this. Cheating. Andy, what are you looking? Did I tell you she got into marijuana at before Christmas? Oh, yeah, yeah. Another time. This is like, that's okay. We're gonna use a pearl on this card. I have a feeling. Yeah. So I let her out in the middle of the night to pee, the usual. And then here she was chewing on something. And I didn't think anything of it until the next morning when she couldn't even really sit up or, you know, walk. And voila, look at that. Covered our little ding there. And so I'm like, oh great, what was she chewing on in there? So I went outside and looked. Sure enough, here's this butt. And I'm like, great. So we had to take her to the vet. She had a low heart rate and her temperature was low, and so they had to just kind of watch her for the day, but thankfully it kind of whittled out of her system. Anyways, that's the second go around. People leaving their butts around. No judgment whatsoever, but people, clean up your butts. There's like, this is a dog-friendly community. There's children across the street. Anyways, I'm blessed to have you in my life. There you go. I like it. It's pretty. I love the tiles. Absolutely love the tiles. Okay, third card, last card, and then I'm going to show you some other examples that I came up with. Okay, so this one for the background of our card base, let's add that beautiful tile stamp to it, like I was talking about before, where you can use the Stamparatus and just line things up so perfectly. So, and this does work better when you have the magnets, but I did not get time to look for them. So we're not going to use them. We're just going to go with it. I'm going to use soft seafoam cardstock and soft seafoam ink. Now, how did I do this? I put it up here. I lined it up with this. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I did, but because this is the card base, it's a little bigger. Okay, we're going to put one down, and I believe we're going to be okay. So I'm just lining things up with the grid paper. All right, I'm going to ink up my stamp on the Stamparatus. Now, I hope this fits. You know, maybe I should do it properly. Because if it doesn't, I have another idea. Let's have a look. Just to make sure. No. Okay. I could, but it would be very tricky. So here's my idea. I'm going to grab a piece of the soft seafoam. give it a little chop. And kind of make a layer, if you will. So I always end up cutting this in half so that it's ready for a card base, and then I chop up the other half. So let's make this, let's make it the 4 by 5 1/4, the typical layer. My garbage is not in the right spot. Okay, so we're gonna stamp on our layer as opposed to the actual card base. I'm sure, you know, it would work if you were extremely accurate, because it would just leave just a tiny little border all the way around the outside. I am not feeling that careful this morning. Just saying. All right, so let's just plop this down. Onto here. Trying to look on around the outsides, make sure it's about even. And paper is lined up with where I want it to be. Let's close this up. All right, and you know what? If this doesn't work, there's always the other side. Did you find your magnets? No. Nope, didn't even look for them. I have been working 12-hour days for the last while. I'm trying to get catalogs out, and so when I send out catalogs, of course you have to send, I send a little letter, and I send a coupon, so I make the coupons, I send out a little invitation thing, and this year I decided to send out 2 card samples with the catalogs. So I've been busy working on all those things, and then I write up the recipe to give to people, and there we go. Nice. Okay, so now, like I said with the Stamparatus, all I have to do is 1, step it down, 2, and it's going to be all lined up. It's going to look perfect. I like it. It helps me be, you know, foolproof. It creates less accidents, if you will. Yes, I am a busy lady. So I've been up early working at 6 every day and going till at least 6, and then usually after supper I'm sitting doing something. So yes, busy time of year. But it's an exciting time of year with the new catalog coming out, and with all of the year-end sale, the closeout sale, all those items retiring. Where do you get that colored graph paper? Would that ever help me line things up? Actually, you can buy graph paper. It's white, that fits the Stamparatus exactly. I'm too lazy, and that's not my highest priority of things. Because I don't use my Stamparatus a lot, I'll be honest. But with this set, it works marvelously. Isn't that gorgeous? So I just cut down one of my big grid papers that I've kind of used, and use that. So you can just cut grid paper too. But for time's sake, if you want to go quick, there is an actual pad that you can use. Okay, we're going to layer this on. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, just for a background stamp, to be a background stamp, that's stunning. And that's 3 stamps with the Stamparatus, moving it down. Like, I didn't even add the detail parts, right? Pretty. Okay, next I was going to add a piece of Whisper White that I ran through with the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. I thought, you know, this would probably go well with the tile. All that work with our, all that work with our background stamp, and I'm going to cover it all up. But, okay. Then here is one of those beautiful dies that comes with this set. Isn't it stunning? And I did that in soft seafoam. I've got my basic gray kind of layer behind it that just kind of makes all those little bits pop. Then I thought, okay, let's put one of these tiles that I pre-stamped. Let's cut it out and we can put it in the center like so, or we can put it like straight so then you can see those little pieces underneath. Isn't that cute? I love it. And then I was going to put some kind of sentiment maybe underneath. All right, so that's my plan. Let's give this a try. Okay, I'm going to use the liquid glue because this is super bumpy and I want the glue to get in all those cracks and crevices so it stays glued. Oh, I love that background. That's kind of almost a buffalo check. Ranks up there with buffalo check for me. It's going to get lots of use. How about vellum instead of white? Ooh, that would have been pretty. Smart idea, Lisa. Darn. I didn't look up fast enough. Oh, yeah, that would, oh, that's a great idea. I'll have to make another one and use vellum to show, yeah. Then you can still see the little bit of pattern underneath, can't you? All right. I'm just adding glue to this, kind of where there's bigger layers. Liquid glue works great for that. There is a fine tip glue pen that you can use also that's got a little, it's like a little, almost like a glue pen. Tiny little tip. But I find, I don't know, it dries up and drives me nuts. So, meh. I just go with the liquid glue. Okay, what's happening here? Let's add a little glue here then. He doesn't want to sit down. I suppose I didn't add glue to the corners. Well, let's do that then. A little rub-a-dub-dub with the glue. Sit. There. Okay, I think we should pop this up. How am I going to pop this layer? Yeah, let's do both. All right, so let's get the dimensionals out. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Just does it all itself, right? It's so pretty. All right, so I could just leave it like this. I could put a pearl in there, whatever. But I thought, oh, let's add this. I've got a piece. I just cut it out of my row and let's just add it on. So let's add a couple dimensionals on the back of that. We'll pop up that layer too. Why not? Now I think I like it straight because then I can see those little pieces sticking out. Because if I go this way, then I lose them all. See what I'm saying? Next time. Yeah, I know. Don't want to hide my pretty stamping. That's a brilliant idea. Okay, there we go. Now for a saying. Let's see. Should we use... I haven't used wishing you peace and happiness yet. I think that's a great saying to use at any point in time. Where did I put this? Oh, here it is. So let's give all the stamps a chance. I think that could be for a birthday, just having a good day even. Let's use our basic gray. Make sure it stands out nice and well. Wishing you peace and happiness. Birthday, anniversary, peace, anniversary, happiness. Yep, that could work. all sorts of things. I think it would work great. All right, let's pop up this layer. If you haven't already done so, I would really appreciate it if you could share this video with your crafting friends, with your non-crafting friends. Maybe they'll get hooked like you and me. And let's add this to our card base. That helps out my little business. And if you could heart, give me lots of hearts when you see something you absolutely love. That kind of plays with Facebook algorithms and says, oh, this must be a good video. Somebody's, you know, liking lots of things off of it. So then it kind of puts my video out there a little more. Isn't that a stunner? Thanks for sharing there, Jennifer. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. Oh, okay. So those are the 3 cards that I started making. And then I continued. Okay, so, oh, what should I show first? Let's do this one. Okay, so for this one, I thought, okay, well, we always tend to cut out a shape and then use the shape, right? But for this one, I thought, well, let's cut out the shape and use it kind of as a border. So, like this came out of here, right? But I used it, I just glued a piece of smoky slate underneath it to pop this layer up to kind of make like a little window, if you will. Then, you're like, well, where did you get the star, lady? Well, once again, I have this die that we just finished using, and what I did was just cut those out, cut it free from the border. So for instance, cut it out of there. And now I have a star. Da, 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 da. And of course, when I ran all these shapes through the Big Shot, or the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, I ended up with little pieces that came out from the inside. So I kept that to play with. Oh, that light is weird. And so I glued those back in, but used a different color to glue back in. And then I had, remember this card? I had cut this shape out of the tile stamp, my stamp tiles, and which left me with this cute little border. And I thought, oh, that'll look nice. So I glued that over top. And then of course I used this big long stamp, thanks for being there when I needed you most, and glued that on there. And this one comes with that fun little die that has the little dots out of it. Isn't it cute? So there we go. That's what I did with this sucker. And then another one I did. Here's another one where I used those star shapes and just popped up tile images that I had left over that I had cut out. Voila. Anything else I wanted to share on this one? No, I think that was it. And then, of course, I wanted to use this as a border. I'm not loving this look. I shouldn't have put these on here, but I wanted something to kind of make this space a little smaller. So I used Everything Will Be Okay, stamp that on there. So basically I used this as a little frame. But can you imagine if you used this as a little frame for, say, the peony stamp, or a different stamp where you just, you know, stamped a beautiful flower on the inside here, and you've got yourself a stunning antique looking border that I think would look absolutely amazing. So there you go. There's that. That's just from cutting out that star shape in the center. Cut it out. Use it. Lastly, what I was wanting to do was there's this shape, right? So I thought, oh, I kind of want to make kind of a little bit modern look using these stripes. So that's my goal for later on. That's what I'm gonna try and do. I want to try and make another card with just that as the border with something on the inside other than the sentiment. So I've got lots of playing to do. I'm so excited. I just can't stop with this. Like, I can be putting, look, what if I use this shape and just put a little dot, a little piece in the center? Wouldn't that be pretty? So simple. I wonder how many we could get on here. Would 4 fit? Although this one I was going to use, but I didn't. And then you could always put a label on the center too. An idea. Or just, like I say, put that there. Or you could put the, you know, put another label on top of one label, and there you go. Pretty, pretty. So you can layer up all these different things. So many ideas. I am excited to play with this one. Yeah. So if you haven't seen, let me remind you that this is the feature of the week, this beautiful Today's Tiles bundle, which we can play around with in all sorts of fun ways. Very versatile. Love it. It was in with the, kind of winter catalog. And so I think a lot of people would assume that, oh, this is kind of snowflakey, right? Could be, but it can be for so many different other things, which I like in a stamp set. So if you purchase this with me this week, I'm going to send you a free G block so that it can help you with your stamping of the sentiments in this set. Let's see. Of course, now's the time to order. That helps my little family, support my family and support my dream here. So here's where you can order this online. It's jenhouston.stampinup.net, and if you use the host code for your orders, that helps me send you out a little gift in the mail. Yay! So copy that down and use that when you order. Also right now, for all of my customers that ordered with me this past year, I'm actually giving you 20% off right now if you order between now and January 3rd. So basically, I'm giving you the demonstrator discount. Shh, don't tell. So stock up on those things you need to stock up on. Get this set. It's a beautiful set. Also, if you order in December, which is, coming to a close awfully soon, I accidentally ordered an extra set of these playful alphabet dies. So if you order in the month of December, your name's going to go into a draw for this set. They're expensive. Some lucky person's going to get that. So how exciting is that? Check out the giant year-end closeout sale because we have less than a week left and some of those things are retiring forever. And lots of those things are on sale, which is amazing. And of course, you always want to check out that clearance rack, right? So make sure you look at that. There's lots of fun items on there that you can sneak in for gifts or for crafting people or whatever. It's New Year's. You deserve it. How about that? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all your help with my business and supporting my family. I am excited to show you a fun technique tomorrow with these beautiful tiles. Oh my, I don't know if you've tried this technique before or not. So You're going to have to make sure to check in at 10 a.m. tomorrow when I come on live. And we're also going to be thinking of people in our lives whose names start with S. Let's spoil them. Let's send them out a little piece of happy mail to surprise them. That's the best kind of happy mail, right? Birthdays, Christmas, yeah, you kind of expect it, but when it's a surprise, it's the best ever. So we're going to send out some smiles tomorrow to people whose names start with S. So if you know some people, make sure you share this with them. All right. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in. I'm going to go back and read through all your wonderful comments, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.